have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views. Have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance.
Good morning. Good morning to the people of Houston. Again, this is Saturday morning, so you're live. We are live on Dawn on MBC. Again, I say good morning. It's a wet day out there, and I hope you all are taking it easy, especially those of you that are driving around. But or that need to go somewhere later in the day. I expect you're all home right now watching us on MBC. Again, very quickly, go to our Facebook page and like us. Would love to really have feedbacks on how we are doing in this program. Again, and on my right, seated with me this morning, is someone I introduced to you first last week. She's now part of our show. I introduce again Shola to the program. Good morning, Shola.
Good morning, Prof. Good morning, Houston. How are we all doing this morning? I'm hoping that we all had a productive week, and of course looking forward to spending time with family and friends this weekend. And for some of you who will be working, well, we're hoping that you will try and take it easy and get as much rest as possible. Welcome. Good morning once again.
Yes, I hope everybody had a really good week. The election finally took place, and
Tuesday.
Yes, and we obviously, like we predicted, it's going into a runoff. I'll be hoping that we can bring you the two contestants for the runoff in December to our program.
We'll do the best
I mean, we'll probably,
yes,
we really hope we can bring them in live, maybe one after the other or both of them together. I don't know whether that would work. But that's what we plan to do.
December 12th, you said?
Yes, yeah, somewhere around
Somewhere
there.
around that, yeah.
I will get the dates straight, but hopefully we'll be able to do that, because now is a time that our community can really play a very strong part
vital role
in who becomes the
next mayor.
Yeah, of Houston. Look, we have an awful lot packed out there this morning. In a later segment, and a very important segment, we're going to be dealing with the success of Nigerian football at a very junior level.
I'm sure very many people are going to be excited about that.
Yes, we're going to be talking about getting to the finals, I think for the 7th or 8th time, and probably winning the 5th one.
We're hoping that
Sunday.
happens.
But, you know, there's always going to be discussion about
that.
what this success means at this level to greater football in Nigeria. So that's going to be a very important segment, and that's going to be coming up later in the program. A lot of things are happening in Nigeria, a lot of things. And even for Nigerians outside Nigeria, you know, we're going to talk about the ministerial retreat.
Yeah.
That the president
held. A 2-day retreat.
And we're going to be talking about a breakthrough for a Nigerian out here in America, the first college president of a school in Missouri, in St. Louis. We'll talk about him and, you know, how he has risen to that position. It's a very, very important position in academics. So we'll talk about all those things. Again, Saraki is still in the news.
He is. And I have a feeling he will be for about
for quite some time.
I
mean, he's still the Senate president.
He's still, and then he's still on trial.
His troubles are not going away.
So he's still going to be
So
there.
we're going to talk about that and all that. But you know what? As we normally do, we'll take a very short music break, and we'll be back and then discuss a lot of this interesting
I'm excited.
topics that we've come across in the last 1 week.
We'll be right
so let's
back.
take this break. Yeah. Thanks, good way
People
to
assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
Welcome back, the people of Houston. We were talking before we left about, you know, all the great stories.
All the training stories. So many things has happened this week. Some good, some bad, some
but overall,
in between.
But overall, that's just the way life is.
That
good and bad
is.
things do happen to people. But let me start with this one, because it's about our country, Nigeria, and what is really going on in the political atmosphere there, you know. I actually have a friend that is visiting right now, and then look, he says, man, the place is just, nothing is happening. That the place is dry, you know. It's like, you know, Lagos or Nigeria normally bubbles.
It is dry. When he says dry, what does that mean? Like,
it's just that, look,
there's not so much news, or
you know, the banking system that they've just kind of switched around with the BVN and all that has caused a little bit of angst.
That happened over the week as well. I don't understand why that is, really, because I think this has gone on for over 6 months now. Go register, have this done and over with, and then, you know, Nigerians, how we are. Most of us always like to have this thing done at the last minute, and then they started extending and extending. I don't even know what they're doing anymore.
Well, look, I don't know what it is. I mean,
I
had written an article many months before
about it.
We keep registering for everything. I cannot imagine the data that they have on Nigerian and their fingerprints now. You buy a phone,
you register,
you fingerprint it.
You get a SIM,
you get fingerprinted.
You do that as well.
You register to vote, you're fingerprinted. I mean, I don't know why this data cannot be sold or put together and used.
It is sad.
Hey, let's start with this story. Buhari insists that his ministers, or that some ministers will not get a portfolio. 36 have been confirmed by the Senate. We were all expecting that. I think we have at least 36 ministries.
I think that's the standard.
Yeah, that's what it is in our constitution, that every state must be represented in the ministerial, in the executive. But he's still insisting that some, even though confirmed, will not get a portfolio. I don't know how that is going to work, but again,
I think that what he's saying is it's not like all of them will not get portfolios, but some of them will not be assigned to a particular, or will not be heads of a particular ministry. They will all get portfolios, but some of them would be doing some other things asides.
But you see, that's where I have a little bit of an issue, because there's an executive council made up of ministers. So, I mean, is it 15? Is it 20 that will have? Because if they're not assigned ministerial portfolios, can they sit in the executive? Look, I really don't know. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I'm not a constitutional expert. I mean, if there's someone out there that can explain how it works in Nigeria, because this seems to be a breach.
It is.
On the surface.
I think it's just change. You know, they change.
The mantra.
Change mantra.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is that he's trying to do.
Yeah, but at least they've started off well.
Well, with the retreats and stuff.
Yes, the 2-day retreat that he held for them. And I hope, I mean, they were probably well briefed. I mean, usually when you go on a retreat, you know, they bring in some experts to help you do certain things, you know, to strengthen your knowledge.
More to some
you strengthen your knowledge on certain areas and all that.
I'm sure, I know that it will turn out well.
Look,
he knows. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Like I said, everybody.
And he just wants the best. And
yes,
we'll just hope that every decision he makes, works out well for Nigeria at the end of the day. So,
well, we'll move on from that.
Let's be positive about that.
Yeah, we'll move on from that.
All right, so moving on, something else in the news about the late singer Whitney Houston. There's a Nigerian woman, a 32-year-old Nigerian woman.
No,
was still doing the ministerial?
No, you said Miss Houston.
Yeah.
No, the daughter. You said Whitney.
Yeah, yes, I was going to go to her daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, the Nigerian woman. We understand she impersonated being a nurse at a hospice that late Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, was treated just before her death. We understand that Miss Taiwo Shobamowo was arrested on the 1st of this month in North Carolina for impersonating a nurse. We understand she was one of the nurses who treated a comatose Bobby Christina Brown in the last month of her life, and they just discovered that she really wasn't a medical professional after all.
And look, this story is bothersome on a couple of.
It is.
Now,
this identity theft.
Apart from just the identity theft, is this what were the goals? What was she doing this for?
I don't understand.
To get, when I first read it, I said, okay.
What was the motive?
What was the motive? Did she want to be close to
her? Has she been there for long? Did they just find out? Yeah. Because I don't think that a stranger can just get into the hospice and start working. Well,
obviously she stole a nursing identity, and that is how she's done this. But look, it's just almost there's a sickening feeling to the story for me.
It is.
But why did she do this? I mean, I've said to people that this is just some kind of mental illness, because why would you do it? But again, she's obviously going to go through the system, and maybe we might find out more
at the end of the day.
But Miss Shobamowo, this is some, and look, I know we've called her a Nigerian here, but I'm sure she's some kind of American citizenship and all that.
Some way, somehow.
Yeah, she's a Nigerian American or American Nigerian.
American Nigerian. Okay, moving on from that not so cheery news. This is some news that is, I feel mixed about. Eddie Murphy is expecting his 9th baby with his new girlfriend, Paige Butcher. He's 54. He's going to be a dad again. He's excited about it. He's been into marriage, I think a marriage or two, some affairs and all, some relationships that, some baby mamas, let me put it that way. And this is his 9th. He's so happy. I'm not going to be shocked because he's not the one carrying the plate. So you can't expect him not to be. But it looks like his family is, all united and they're all happy
nations.
about. Yeah.
Well, look, I don't have a problem, and that's why when you said it's not so. Look, it's always sharing news when someone's pregnant. I mean, but 9 children.
9.
And I want to believe he also has the finances to take care of 9
Of
children.
course, he's a successful actor, all-encompassing actor, comedian, singer, model, everything.
Yeah, but you know what? We always say, really, in part of where we come from around the world, that we really don't count children. I mean, but he's told us.
But they do that here.
Yeah, he says, but this is the 9th one coming. Good luck to him. I mean, I can't see myself trying to.
No, but I'm trying to imagine you with 9 kids. All surrounding you, daddy.
No, I mean, my daughter's in high school and she's doing this, I think, child development course.
Okay.
And funny enough, this is the weekend she brought in some doll that cries. I mean, look.
Some doll?
A doll that they have to carry around for the weekend. They do a course, they call it child development in high school here. They bring a doll that cries that, you've got to change the diaper.
It's almost like a normal
experience. I mean, I came in and I saw what they call that, baby car seat in the living room, and I said, who's visiting here? Whose baby is around here? And
I can imagine my expression when I see that.
So that's interesting that this is actually.
So that's enough for you.
Mm-hmm, that's good enough.
You can't have.
And let's leave the baby issue, the 9th baby and baby mama dramas that Murphy might be in. This is almost becoming a comedy or drama in Nigeria. Saraki and his court case in the Code of Conduct trial. His lawyers pulled out of the case. Again, if someone can call us or tweet at us at MBC TV Houston to explain what all this means legally. His lawyers pulled out.
They were angry?
They pulled out because they believe that the case must not continue because they have a pending decision by the Supreme Court. So they pulled, and the judge of this lower court said, no, I'm going on. So they pulled out. And they're still saying it's going on because they adjourned the case till the 19th, which is about a week and a half from now. So this is very interesting. I mean,
very.
Look, the case must consider he's standing trial on a 13-count charge of false asset declaration while he was governor of Kwara State. This is about 12 years ago. But that's not the issue. The tribunal in its ruling said the case must continue despite him going to the Supreme Court. We'll see how this plays out because this is turning into some drama. You might call it a comedy, you might call it action packed.
It is drama.
This is definitely drama. Here is the good news for we people of African descent, or we Nigerians
in particular.
Here is a great guy. He's the first black president of Webster College in the USA here. Now, this Webster College is somewhere around the St. Louis, Missouri area. Professor Ola Akonde. I mean, I happen to know him and his. I happen to know him and his family.
That's nice.
I mean, I'm really happy for them. He's married to Mrs. Bola Akonde. They have 3 lovely daughters. I mean, and this is the first time that this is happening to a Nigerian at this in this school and in this part of the of our world. He's the first black American and the first Nigerian-born academician to occupy the topmost position of this 165-year-old liberal college, liberal arts college. I mean, at the ceremonies which took place at the auditorium in the college, I mean, I'm very happy that his parents Reverend Dr. and Mrs. S.T. Ola were present, apart from his own immediate family.
The governor of Oyo State was also present. Governor Ajimobi was also, I think he's a close friend of the family. He was also present there. He's a very well learned person. Has been credited with developing numerous corporate and donor partnerships. He's a recognized global expert in the areas of economics, higher education, strategy, and leadership. He's a strategic visionary. He's been widely known for his versatility also in assuming challenges and leading multiple projects over the years. So fantastic, and congratulations to him.
Yes, we congratulate him. We also congratulate, our
Nigerians
people, because
as well.
there are quite a number of people that do great things in this country.
All right, so I think we should go for a brief break, and when we come back, more stories on trending issues in the past week on Dawn on NBC this morning. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Wazobia Market.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
Call Kayode Ajanaku, 9903 State Highway 6 South, Suite 600, Sugarland, Texas 77498. Telephone 713-776-3275.
All right, welcome back, Houston. Thank you for joining us. Once again, it is Dawn on NBC this morning. My name is Shola. Prof is here with me as well, and we have been sharing with you trending issues and topics that's happened around the continent of Africa and in the world all over. We are going to this very good news about the Ebola survivor, Dr. Ada Igono, who welcomed a baby girl over the week. Some fantastic news there for Nigerians, and I'm sure for her family, for a survivor. You know, when the Ebola issue, was really very I don't know if I call it heated. It was really scary. Nobody would have thought that someone could actually get pregnant and have a baby, full term, and come out free.
One of the things that has actually surprised me more in this is that, remember, the Ebola thing was happened in Nigeria really about just slightly over a year ago, in August.
Okay, last year.
July/August of last year, 2014. And this young lady was, that a doctor was actually the consulting doctor before her boss. Dr. Dadevo came in and took over the issue, and she unfortunately passed away. But she survived it. I remember her story of her being at home, and actually being in her parents' house. And then they called her and said they had to pick her up because of they diagnosed the Liberian with Ebola, and but she survived it.
We're very happy for that. We're very happy for her. Congratulations, ma'am. Yes, we understand she's the only female medical doctor to have survived the deadly disease, and that is cheering. That is absolutely cheering and wonderful. All right, so that's for that. We have some breaking news as well that happened this morning. Of course, the time zones make it really kind of dicey, but it is still some fantastic news for some people. For Prof, I'm not sure. We were talking before we came on. So the governor of Taraba State, Dambaba Santa Ishako, we understand has been sacked this morning.
Yeah, when
he was elected in April.
He's supposed to have won the election in April.
He's supposed. I like that word. Supposed to.
If we remember, there had been not necessarily a dispute, but the results were slightly delayed because they said it was close. Where initially everybody thought we would have had our first female governor in Taraba State, but it didn't turn out to be. Now we understand the election panel or the election tribunal has completely sacked him and insisted that
Al-Hassan under the APC
be installed immediately.
As soon as possible.
So I mean where do I have a problem with it? There's a process. I don't know what would make them immediately have to install. Where did they now? Was there a recount? Because that's the only time that you can say that.
Let's say there was.
No, they went to a tribunal, so things had to have happened. I don't know, but I'm a little bit finicky about what is going on when it comes to a lot of these election tribunals, because the trend seems to be
that
all PDP governors are being removed. River State redone. A couple of other places, but that and I'm not fighting on a PDP APC listen, but I said let's go back.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I mean, we know that we had issues, or we always have issues in our elections. It's never one way. It's never.
I'll have you know though that Aisha Hassan, who apparently now is going to be the next governor, and of course the first female elected governor as well in Nigeria. She was with the PDP. She actually became a senator under the PDP, and then they camped afterwards to run the gubernatorial race.
The Senate president was also with the PDP, and he's now. So look, we don't have political ideologies, and we just have alliances. To get us moving.
But as always, we will wait and see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
All right. So that's about the last training topic we have.
Well, I mean, let me just go back to the issue of the young lady that I was the Ebola doctor that we kind of referred to her. But also states really clearly that the WHO, the World Health Organization, in concert with the Center of Disease Control, which is an American body, formally declared Nigeria Ebola-free since October 20th last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've gone a whole year without it. I mean, and that's really good for Nigeria.
That is
so we're going to do one. We're going to take a quick break. Now, when we come back, I did introduce this earlier. That this time when we come back, we're going to talk about
sports,
Nigerian football.
Sports.
We've been probably the most successful. We've been the most successful youth football playing nation in the world. We are going to play in, I think, our 8th finals in the Under-17 World Cup, and probably win it for the 5th time and for the first time back-to-back. We're going to talk about that, and someone else here is going to be joining me who's a football buff, very interested in football, owns a football academy in Nigeria. So we're going to be discussing Nigerian football at the youth level.
After the break.
Right after the break.
Stay tuned.
Have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Welcome back, Houston. Look, I have on set with me right now is Mr. Bayo. I mean, you all can see that he's dressed in all green in support of the national team. He's a real football enthusiast, or a soccer enthusiast, as we'll have to refer to it, as we call it here in America. And look, we've shown you clips of the amazing things the Under-17 Nigerians called the Golden Eaglets, what they've been doing in Chile in the past 2 weeks. They are now set to play in the finals against another African team, Mali, which will be on Sunday. And this is our 8th finals, and possibly the 5th time we might win it, and the first team to win it back to back.
It has never happened.
extremely successful performance for this soccer team, and especially for the country at this level.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to start with a question that I think every Nigerian or every African really wants to know. With all the success we possess at this level, we have not even ever won
The under-20s.
the under-20, which is really 2 years away. And not to talk of even getting into the quarterfinals at the World Cup. And we've had tremendous success at this level. What is the problem?
Well, I think luck is the number one thing, because I remember we were finalists in the under-20 in 2005, the John Obi Mikel's set. We narrowly missed that. In fact, I think we actually won that tournament in terms of being Nigerian and being passionate, but we also that match was packed with a lot of troubles, two very controversial goals scored by now 4 times World Player of the Year, Lionel Messi, in that particular one. But like you said, I think the way we bring up these players from the under-17, the way we do the monitoring of the players is not enough. And this has not given us any success or whatsoever at the under-20s or under-23. I ask myself the same question, that why is it so that we've had so much success at the under-17 and not at the under-20s or even the under-23. We were only lucky to win at Olympic gold in 1996, being the only time we've done that.
But we've also been to the finals.
But we've been to the finals of that one as well. And this is also affecting the main national team, which is the Super Eagles. Many of these players are, of course, the joy we had in the last set of the under-17 is the likes of Taiwo Awoniyi, Kelechi Iheanacho, who now plays as the first team player in Manchester City. I think that's a very huge success for Nigeria.
Look, okay, let's go back a little bit to what our developmental program is. I have said, and I'll say it again, I do not believe that the Nigerian national under-17 team can actually produce, to me, a 17-year-old. I mean, I know people go bonkers. Oh, yeah, these guys look young.
This is an issue a lot of people doesn't even want you to talk about, including myself. Each time I've tried to raise the question, a lot of people give so much attack that, for example, I have a soccer academy back home in Africa, and I'm sure you're also Nigerian. You know what a 17-year-old should look like from Nigeria.
But here's what I always say. It's not should look like. Because, I've spoken to people in the semi-final game that we played against the Mexicans. There was a young man that, with his, the way he grew his beard and all that.
You mean the Mexican player?
Yeah, Mexican player that, you would say he looks older. So I never look at looks.
I mean, you could say convincingly that the Mexicans were not really under 17.
No,
if you look at that,
but you see, that's a problem.
Such big lads.
Oh, hold on. Here is where I differ. I don't just say this thing. What I did is that you check out the Mexican. I took 5 random players.
Okay.
Now, almost the entire Mexican team is filled with what? Kids that were born in America.
Not the entire. I said few of them.
But look, I did a random study. I took 5.
Okay, 5.
3.
Is it up to 5?
Yeah. No, I took 5. I just took 5 players on their 21-man roster. 3 were born in America. 1 actually is in the LA Galaxy.
Yes, the goalkeeper, I think.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper, when you look at him by looks, you'll say he's older. He was born in America.
The goalkeeper was born. Yeah, I'm very sure about that.
Now, let's go back to that. I took 5 from Nigeria.
Okay.
Couldn't find anything on them.
I know of 2, of course.
2 of them have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And for the first time in my life, they have no friends.
Wow.
Now
that probably it was just created while the tournament started.
It looks like that, but that's not the issue. I know why they don't have friends. Because so you cannot connect them to anything. Look, that is how our basketball many years ago, about 4, 5, 6 years ago, our under-19 basketball team was disqualified from a tournament because they just had to go to the kids' Facebook page, and there they could find his school picture, his whatever, and he just put the numbers together. I mean, it turned out that he was about a 27-year-old playing an under-19 tournament. And it's the same thing I talk about. Look, these players are not spirits. They have parents, they have teachers, they have pastors, they have neighbors.
Yeah.
All I keep telling people is that when we have these doubts, someone should come up and say, this is my kid, or this is a kid I taught in school, and this is his age.
So this is actually providing like the way it can be done for us to
I just did that. I just did that with a kid in basketball that I helped out here that, and I'll say it right now, people are not even saying he's going to be the next Akeem Olajuwon. They're actually saying he's going to be the next Shaquille O'Neal out of San Antonio. He's in a Catholic school in San Antonio.
This issue, Prof, if we're going to continue with this particular age issue, it's really a very big one. Because I remember while I was reading the history of the Under-17 tournament a few days ago, in 1989, the reason why Nigeria was banned after the 1989 edition of the tournament, that's the reason why we didn't play in the 1991 edition that Ghana won in Italy. And we came back in 1993 to play against Ghana that won it in 1991, and which we defeated Ghana. I hope that doesn't happen this time, because that was the last time, 22 years ago was the last time it happened that Nigeria, two African teams met in the finals.
When we bring up this discrepancy age issue, all I just ask is that in order to clear the air, we have to really come out and not just say that you look young enough or an MRI test has passed them. And I said, look,
I think that's what is used now, MRI and the passport.
I know people talk about the MRI as if it's just a small gadget that you carry around. I mean, I've worked with, I own a sports consultancy, so I have worked with these things before. This MRI thing is a whole load of bunk, but let's leave that aside. I just said, I have a kid that's 15. He turned 15 last week. And someone put it out there on Twitter that he's not 15, that he's 17 years old. I immediately contacted the American writer that put it out there that he knows someone that has another passport in the kid's name and that he's 17. I immediately put it out there. I got in contact with him. And I sent him, not documents. I mean, when I mean document, not his birth certificate, not his passport or anything. I just sent him pictures of his development over the last 3 years.
Probably you did that because of how much he saw the player
has developed so quickly. When I sent him a picture of when I first met the kid in 2013, and when I sent him the picture, he was shocked. I sent him a picture of the kid in 2014 because we had put him in a private school in Nigeria until they had a yearbook. All that, the guy immediately said,
this is some of the things someone like you should be able to provide for our football federation, because definitely, this is a very huge challenge we've been facing for over 2-3 decades now in terms of developing the players from the 17.
It's a great discussion, but let's not even that. Let's not get away too much from what is happening. What is happening tomorrow. We have played very good football.
We have.
Even though, again, I'm not criticizing, but it's a critic of what. When you watch them against that game, when you watch the entire game and do an analysis against Mexico, you can also start to see why we don't do well later. You could see what Mexico was trying to do. What their under-17 team did is what you call teaching at the junior level. They were made to do certain things over and over again, play under pressure, move from line to line.
And they got results.
I mean,
1-0, they were down 2-1, and then they came back. With the goal of the season by quarters.
Actually, see what I mean is that they would continue to develop. 2 or 3 of our goals were what you call that came out of nothing. It wasn't a build-up. One was a free kick. One was just a wild shot. Great shot. What was what you call a wild shot that usually a real, and I'll say it again, no 17-year-old boy can hit the ball that hard. We might get lucky occasionally, but that was
not even an American.
No, that was a really hard shot.
Sure.
That was powerful
from that angle.
From that angle, but we've done well.
I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions by the time this particular material is uploaded or something on YouTube or any social media. People are going to ask you questions, because it takes a lot for you to be able to say they are not under 17. I belong to so many forums, and each time I try to talk about this, people get so defensive and talk about. But I think tomorrow it's going to be a very, very big match.
It should be. Look, we're an emotional people, so we don't like, I mean, and I'm not trying to, I have no business in trying to, all I'm saying is that anytime there are questions about this thing, there's always a way to solve it. If someone comes,
we should find it. We should find that way out.
Because we haven't been able to solve this thing. We just keep going back to, FIFA just accepts a passport as an age thing and all that. Because let's be honest, and I did a little bit of youth psychology and whatever. This team, the success at this level is too consistent for 17-year-olds.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, it's too consistent for 17-year-olds.
I just hope that the guys make us proud tomorrow by letting history repeat itself. The game of 1993 is still in the memories of millions of people across the world. We hope they give us a good football, and we hope the best team win the tournament. But definitely, as a Nigerian, I would definitely want Nigeria to carry it there.
Well, look, people of Houston, people of Nigeria, and Africans generally, tomorrow is going to be a very, very good game. I mean, tomorrow, I mean, I think the game is about 4:45.
It's 4:45, yeah.
I
think in Houston it's going to be 3:45. It's going to be at 4 o'clock kickoff.
Okay, so it's going to be a good game. I mean, I think people should go. I mean, should at least tune in and watch this game. I mean, two African countries. There's nothing else we can ask for. We are the top of the game at this level.
It is a very huge success.
Yeah, we are at the top of this game at this level, and hopefully they give us the best of their hopefully Nigeria comes out ahead. But the questions about it will never end until we solve it. And that's what I'm saying. You have to cut it off at some point. You just have to cut it off at some point.
Hopefully we keep getting better. I'm sure after the FIFA election, a lot of things is going to be done at the African region as well. I'm so glad to be here today.
Okay, yeah, look, again, ladies and gentlemen, people of Houston, people of Nigeria, Africans generally, those of you that watch this program, please go to our Facebook page and like us. Also, we do upload most of our programs.
Yes, we have the past episodes.
Within a few days, past episodes. Go and watch it and then make comments. Because again, this last segment we've had now has been what we call a very touchy subject.
It is very touchy. People don't want to, and in Africa, in entire Africa.
But look, it is out there and it has to be dealt with.
That's the way.
Yeah, it's out there, it has to be dealt with. So we'll take one last break and come back and wrap it up.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
Have been booming, and we found out too. What are you doing about your business? Do you want more clients? Do you want more people to know about the services that you do provide? Do you have a luncheon coming? What about your premieres? Call MBC. Advertise your birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, church program, or request our coverage at your function. MBC, at your service 24/7. Call 832-887-6452 or call 281-888-9502. MBC, your favorite station, sharing African views.
Welcome back. I'm back with this time with Shola, who has absolutely no interest in football.
Absolutely nothing.
But I'm hoping at least you are rooting for Nigeria to win. So whether you have interest in the game or not,
that's what's important. You just have to win.
But here is what I would say to even you that you don't have an interest in football per se. I've always said this, and I wrote an article I think about 3, 4, 5 years ago. I said, our players at this level are not spirits. Someone knows them. And I want someone to come out and say, this kid that's playing now went to school with my son. Here is the picture. I want someone to do that so we can clear the air on this thing.
You know what? If you have that, you can tweet at Prof. What's your Twitter handle, Prof?
It's PJ Osage. You know,
okay,
I mean,
you can tweet
me. You can tweet me. I would love to let this discussion go on because look, I think we're doing ourselves some damage if we never really clear it. Because no matter what happens, if we win it tomorrow, it's going to be the same that we're using over.
All right. So if you have that, it would be nice to. You can tweet at PJ what again?
PJ Osage.
PJ Osage. You can tweet at Nishala01. That's my Twitter handle. You can also tweet at NBC TV Houston. We would like to hear from you if you have that. If you want to comment on today's episode as well, or on our past episodes on things that you'd like for us to improve on topics and all of that. On our training topics, if you have, just one or two comments or suggestions or observations about them, please feel free to do just that. Once again, at MBC TV Houston, our Twitter handle. You can also go to youtube.com/MBC Live TV to watch all of our past episodes as well. And of course, on Facebook, please do like us. Facebook.com/MBC Live TV. I'm still Olushola and Prof. Also, we've had a blast today. And of course, same time next week, we will be bringing you trending stories and issues. However, I don't want to use the word nasty, but we will do the best that we can to make sure that you catch up on all that you missed in the course of the week.
Before we go, I'd also say that very likely next week I'll be bringing a very young doctor here.
Okay.
She's opening up one of these new trend in the medical profession, which is almost like corner store emergency rooms. So we'll be having an interview with her. She's a specialist in emergency medicine and all that.
That should be interesting.
So just stay back and join us next week, Saturday. Bye-bye for now.
Have a great week, people.